Hello my viewers, I have a little bit of a, I don't know, problem, but see what you all think. I've got the linoleum here, okay, that was installed by the manufacturer, okay, right in here, and it's glued down, alright. I'm just trying to figure out the best solution to get this back up, or should I say just to get it up and out of here, because I'm planning to put LVP down throughout the entire mobile home. So yeah, I mean, I know I have to take a razor knife and, you know, cut along the walls here, because this linoleum goes underneath the walls as well. See, when the manufacturer put this the sheet goods in like this, all they did was just roll it across the floor before the walls were put up. They didn't think that some guy like me, you know, sometime in the future is going to come along and want to rip it up. So that's a dilemma, just to see if anybody out there has a better solution than I do. I'm always looking for better solutions. The other thing I'm facing here is this little bookcase, or I don't know, whatever it is. It is, I don't know, maybe if you want to keep books there or whatever, fine, you know, but I mean, I'd rather have, say, like a small breakfast nook or something like that there. I mean, it's just not really all that functional in my view. Maybe in 1984 when this was built, you know, people came in here and oohed and awed over it, thinking it was the greatest thing. But right now I'm thinking that it's not really what I want to do or keep in here. So now, of course, the kitchen floor itself, okay, it looks like some kind of a laminate or something. I mean, it's not in bad condition, but I plan to put LVP throughout the entire mobile home. I don't want any transitions or anything like that, so it's going to go too. I've got the camera set up here, and I'm going to demolish this old bookcase. I know some of you out there might think I should keep this old bookcase for posterity reasons, only because it's original to the mobile home or something, but I just don't really feel that way. I think that maybe even the bookcase was sort of a bad idea from day one anyway. So that's why I'm digging it up, because I have a better idea of what to do with the space. And in a mobile home, especially as small as this one, I mean, space is a commodity, and you want to make the best of what space you have. I mean, I used to live on a 25-foot sailboat, so I know all about making the best of what space you have. I actually think that a breakfast nook or something of a sort would make best use of the space available. The guy that's using the maul to try and chop up the deck is not me, by the way. He's a kind of a local guy that needed a few dollars. I just kind of wandered on my property one day to see if there was anything I needed help with. Kind of. At first I was sort of hesitant, but because he's definitely younger than me, I thought about maybe getting him to do some of the heavy lifting. I mean, I just turned 70 years old, so I'm trying to avoid straining myself. And maybe, I don't know, maybe God sent him to my property for that reason. So I noticed he was sort of struggling with the mall, trying to tear things down, you know, so I went ahead and showed him how it's done, you might say. This is really the first time in my life when I've ever hired anybody as a casual laborer. And so I'm not really used to how to tell people what to do and things like that. I mean, yeah, I was a technician for the school board, and occasionally I'd have to use a helper for some things. But the thing is I've just never really had to be, we'll say, the employer. I have found that everyone has their own abilities. Not everybody knows how to demolish a deck, okay, but they know how to haul away block or wood, and that's pretty much what I got going on here. Now in this video I only sped the video up ×4 on the normal speed, mainly because that way you can see what was really kind of going on. The other videos I had it up to ×8 the normal speed. Maybe you can let me know what you'd rather have. If you'd rather have it, like the sped up version to be ×4 or ×8. It's, to me, this kind of lets the viewer see more of what's happening. But I mean, I don't want to take people's precious time watching things that just doesn't really matter to them. The video is heavily edited, though. I deleted out a lot of areas where nobody's in the view of the camera, things like that, and or places where just really nothing was happening. So that way you can see what really happened without having to spend the entire day out there with me. Of course, as I tear apart things like these decks and things like that, I'm spotting things that's even underneath the trailer that I can't help but to wonder how in the world it got under there, or why it got under there. It's kind of baffling to me how things happen over time as people live in the home, especially over like a span of 40 years. It's very interesting, really. It's kind of interesting about human nature, really. Human nature is actually very interesting to me overall. You'll see the steps that actually led up to the deck that was there. I'm going to use those steps someplace at the mobile home, I think, once it's set up in its new location. At least I think I am. I'm going to see how salvageable those steps really are. I rather even recommend people out there who have these skills to rehab old homes or mobile homes, what have you, just as a life lesson to you about human nature and how things are put together. I mean, it's just a lot of different things you learn when you do this. I mean, you really learn a lot more doing it than, we'll say, sitting around watching videos. I mean, of course, you learn a lot watching the videos too, but I mean, just doing it is actually a lesson in itself. I did a video segment some time ago where I was demoing out a travel trailer. I learned a lot just doing that. I learned how to save money. Where you see a lot of people out there doing videos, like for example the roof itself. Okay, I replaced that entire roof for under $500. And for example, I believe I can do this roof for even less than that for what I'm going to do. Now, I've seen videos where people spend about $5,000 in materials if they want to, say, replace it with a metal roof or something like that. Yeah, that's one way of doing it, but I have a much less expensive solution than that, where first of all, that roof is metal and it's not in really horrible shape. So I'm going to use a product that's made by Ames that I used to, it's actually three separate products for the roof. Okay, so the first Ames product I'll be using is called the Ames Super Elasto Barrier, and you install that with a mesh, like a fiberglass mesh, and that hardens everything up. It seals it up really tight. And then you, after a few coats of that, you would put down another type of sealant. It's sort of a sealant, really. It's more of a sunblock. It's called Maximum Stretch. Also, Ames sells a product that's called Super Primer, and I found that to be an extremely helpful product, which I'm going to put down first on top of the bare metal, because that will put a halt to any rust or anything like that. By the way, I'm now tearing apart the front porch. I don't know if you just automatically figured that out or not, but yeah, that was the porch that I put my leg through, and so now I'm getting rid of this hazard to anybody that would possibly think they want to walk on it. Well, I am trying to concentrate on eliminating any kind of hazards or anything like that around the property first before I go and start rebuilding much of anything. Now, I know some of you may think, okay, why don't you use a saw just to cut through all them slats? Well, yeah, I should have. I've just been lazy about installing a breaker so that I can get 120 volts to my saws and things. But I managed to do this without any electrical saws or things. Sometimes people ask me to talk about a video that I did many years ago about message to the people of the future. That was, believe it or not, it was not really just a parody type of a video. Okay, I was really having problems health-wise, you might say, and I was getting these unusual visions when I was getting these extreme headaches, and I was writing science fiction at the time, and I was just wondering if maybe somebody in the future was trying to send me ideas of what I should be writing about. I mean, that was my guess anyway. It's really kind of a part of my life that I'm trying to move on from because I've got over it, you might say. I've recovered from a lot of those problems, and I really don't even want to write science fiction anymore because of it. I really seriously believe that somebody was sending me these visions so that I would continue to write. I have a question that I would like to propose out to anyone out there. It is about cameras. Now, I have a pretty decent camera that is a 1080p camera. I mean, it serves my purpose for what I'm using it. Now, what I need is a camera, sort of like, I guess, a GoPro. Now, what kind of GoPro should I get? Now, if you don't really know, then it's fine. But I mean, I'd like to hear from, say, another YouTuber that does a lot of videos and that use GoPro for, we'll say, maybe something that they wear on their hat or their chest, or I really don't know what the best solution is. I'm trying to get a camera that would be best suited so that when I'm making videos on the inside of the mobile home, okay, especially when I'm doing the rebuilding, that I can do some up close and personal types of shots. Thank you. I would appreciate the input. If there's anything you would like me to talk about in these videos where I have the sound on mute and the video on maybe like 4 or 8 times its normal speed, please let me know in the comments. I would really like to get some ideas on what I should be actually talking about. Also, as normal, you don't have to hit the like button, but I really would like it if you subscribe and comment. Okay, well, here we go. Just to show you, you know, how far I've got so far. Cleaned up where the deck was, going to the front door over here. And even cleaned up around the fifth wheel, because, you know, I want to get up all these trip hazards. The shed that was jam-packed full of trash, that's at least all the junk is out of it now. Okay, you know, for the most part. The floor, though, I don't know, I got a lot of work to do on this. Obviously, the floor and then the roof. Seen better days, but I think I can do it. Then over here in the back today, cleaned up quite a bit where the back deck was. That was one heck of a hazard in itself. So that's gone. The steps going up to the deck is the only thing sitting there right now. I'm going to move those someplace else, obviously. So let's see here. Now I've got to put in the breaker at some point in that box so I can run 120 volts through an extension cord. I still have this deck where the addition was, right here. I still have to take that apart. That's going to take some doing. I'm going to have to use a saw to cut up the stuff. So at least it's a lot cleaner anyway. I'm getting it a lot cleaner. And it's really coming along. And by the way, I sprayed the inside of the mobile home with some bleach water today. So get rid of some of that mold. Thank you for watching.